And at this time, we recognize the gentlewoman from Colorado, Ms. Pettersen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and great to see you, Director Chopra. It's wonderful to have you. You do a very good job being in the hot seat. Well, being last, all my questions have been asked, but one thing that I've thought a lot about sitting through this is what it was like to live in poverty, what it was like when I was younger, having multiple jobs while I worked my way through college, putting myself through school, being, just one financial emergency away from being unable to pay for rent and put a roof over my head. And when I think about those life experiences that are so important to have when you're sitting in these seats, about understanding what people are struggling with every day and how important your work is in fighting for regular people who these junk fees can really have an enormous impact, or zombie debt. And so I just want to thank you for the work that you do every day and your team. And when I think about zombie debt in particular, I was reflecting on when I was younger in high school, and I had something, I had to go to the emergency room, I paid for it. Later on, when I was qualifying to buy a house, it showed up again.
The credit report.
Well, no, but I paid for it, but then it was sold off. So zombie debt, where it's paid, years later, you have no proof. Oftentimes lose that, and they know that, so they sell it off knowing that is likely. And so many people in my life have dealt with this. And I remember being a young person and feeling like there was no accountability, nowhere to go. And so I know recently you had, CFPB had a field hearing on this issue around zombie mortgages specifically, and wanted to see how you all are thinking about what to do about zombie mortgages and how they're targeting seniors, but also if there are gaps that Congress should consider in addressing.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And let me just share, one of the things that's really great about the work we do is we actually get to hear directly from thousands of people a day about exactly those situations and how it affects them, and really what they need to do to how we can fix things for them. So on zombie mortgages, there was, and we think this is quite targeted in a few metro areas, but maybe nationwide, second mortgages that were considered satisfied, but that have reemerged and are targeting people sitting on home equity, often seniors. Zombie debt, more broadly, of things that just keep popping up over and over again, and the consumer is often put in a place to prove they've paid it, even though, it may be long ago. I think there's a lot of ways in which the credit report, too, is used to coerce people into paying this debt parking. So we do use our authorities under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and Fair Credit Reporting Act, but I think it's worthwhile to think if we need any sort of enhancements to it in order to make sure that this type of, what I see often as fraud, doesn't recur.
Great, thank you for that. And I know that you're trying to change behavior by doubling down on going after junk fees. And I don't know if you want to talk quickly about how you all are identifying junk fees, and then also what you're seeing with behavior changing from businesses and what that means for consumers.
Yeah, I think we've seen a number of very large banks who engaged in some hyper-aggressive illegal practices. We reached 2 major enforcement actions. Wells Fargo, Regions Bank. It was pretty bad conduct. We have seen, though, a pretty big shift in the market of moving away from some of these junk fees. And I think we've tried to go in other industries to see where are they charging something that really is for nothing. I mean, I mentioned earlier to your colleagues, we found a paper statement fee that they didn't print or mail. So we have to make sure that this is just not another way to cheat people. And we're very proud of that work, and I think it's made the difference of billions of dollars.
Great. With 20 seconds remaining, anything else you want to add? I know that there were a lot of topics.
Well, I just hope, I know I've known some of you now for many years, and I do hope that there's some things that we all see eye to eye on, protecting data, privacy, junk fees. I think there's a lot we can do to really row in the same direction. So I appreciate all of you who have met with me to really help inform our work.
Thank you very much. I yield back.